Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 2. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play and this is episode 22. And in today's episode we're going to be finishing off the last of these special events with the GT500 Championship. For that we need a GT500 car, and luckily I know just the people who are willing to give us a GT500 car. They're called Nissan, and wait for it. There we go, that's the car we're going to be using today, unless I can find a slightly better one. The answer is no. Okay, Nissan don't sell any other liveries apparently. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to go for the Pennzoil Nismo GTR, because this is really the first GT500 car I really ever saw in this game. I remember it from a license test and I really like the paint scheme on it. So yeah, this is the car we're going to go for. This is sort of the reason I like yellow GTRs, which is something many people find a little bit strange about me. But yeah, my favourite colour of GTR, or at least an R34, is yellow. That's why I used the yellow one in the Top Gear Laps episode. Anyways, we've got virtually no money anymore, so let's see if we can actually make any money out of this championship. The answer is yes. Apparently you get 50 grand a race and 200,000 overall. That's pretty decent. Anyways, our first race heads to Laguna Seca. Okay, yep, we've got the same rolling starts as we did with the GT300 Championship, which is nice. Anyways, what we got? We've got a R33, an R33, a Viper in GT. Okay. Oh yeah, I believe that's actually the Jack Viper. They do have one of those apparently. That's a thing that exists. The STP Viper, I believe it's called. Anyways, apparently it's no match for the mighty R34 Nismo Pennzoil Skyline, which has just completely demolished everyone off of the start line apparently. So once again, like with the FTO, I have done a little bit of tuning to this vehicle. Unlike the FTO though, essentially what I did with that was bolstered up the downforce on the front, removed some of the downforce on the rear. On this vehicle I've just put all of the downforce on it, so it's got full downforce front and rear in an attempt to make it a bit more in the way of drivable, because this thing actually has a ridiculous amount of power. This thing has like 700 horsepower, which is pretty crazy. It also has four-wheel drive, which means power is going to all of the wheels, so I need all of the downforce to conquer all of that wheel stuff. But anyways, apparently on its first lap it's almost quicker than the FTO was on the best out of 5 flying laps. So yeah, this vehicle is pretty fast apparently. It's decent to drive. It actually kind of reminds me of my Mitsubishi 3000 GT that I built earlier on in this LP. I think it's like episode 6 actually. For the 4-wheel drive challenge I built a Mitsubishi 3000 GT in the end, because I had a lot of money. I went a bit mad with it. I race modified it. I gave it 690 horsepower, so it has about the same amount of power as this. The only difference is that 3000 GT wasn't nearly as safe as this vehicle is, because you can just feel all the downforce through the corners this thing has to give. It is pretty incredible through the corners. It has so much grip, it has so much power, and a really decent amount of straight line speed, which is excellent for a vehicle of sort of this class. I was not expecting these cars to be quite as quick as they are. I also wasn't quite expecting to blow away the AI quite as much as I have done. I've just completely apparently destroyed the AI. I thought the R33s might be able to keep up, but apparently, or even the Vipers, because you gotta remember, Viper in this game is excessively quick. I mean, that thing usually fights with Toyota GT1s, but apparently, no, they can be dominated by a bright yellow Nissan Skyline. So yeah, anyway, I guess I should speak a bit more on this Pennzoil Skyline. I don't know why I like it so much. I've just always really liked the paint scheme on this one. It's sort of, I think it might be because here in Gran Turismo 2, it's basically the first sort of Skyline race car I ever really saw, because it was in this game and you use it on the license test. I actually remember it quite well. Trial Mountain, special license, you use this vehicle, and yeah, it's very, very good. I don't actually remember it being quite this good to drive, although then again that could be just like the downforce. that I've got on this thing, but yeah, it's pretty excessively quick. So yeah, I guess that's sort of what got me into this particular racing skyline. As for the reason I like yellow skylines, again, I think it's just down to this game, because of course I think in the arcade mode you can actually get a yellow skyline. You might be able to buy it from the dealer yellow. If you can, then in the one-mate race for R34s, and there is one, we're going to be buying a yellow. To be fair, actually, I might just buy like the GTS or something just to take the piss on that one a bit, but we'll have to see when we get into the one-mate races, which, again, we're not actually too far off now after this is done. We've got some episodes of rallying to do, which I don't know if I'm going to end up doing those tonight or maybe leave them till tomorrow. Hopefully I get some time to record this tomorrow. I'd kind of like to do all the rally stuff in sort of one sitting. That'd be kind of nice. And then after that we move on to the Nationals or the one-mate races. Haven't quite decided yet. So yeah, that's something. So yeah, GT2 Let's Play tugging on quite nicely here. And yeah, it's been a blast. I do think like the sort of viewership might drop off after the special events, which is fair enough. But yeah, we've still got a long way to go yet. Even though sort of the special events are sort of the meat of the game, we've still got the potatoes to go, which is the rally racing and the national racing and all of the one-mate races. There is quite a few of those. So after this episode, I'm probably going to be taking a look at the reward screen, and I'll let you guys actually have a look at how far through the game we actually are now. After 4 pages of special events. Bearing in mind I haven't done anything else, none of the nationals, none of the one-mate races, none of the dirt races. We've done nothing else other than just the 4 pages of special events available in this game. So yeah, it should be pretty cool to see what we've got there. Anyways, a 1:11 is apparently the best time I've managed to get through it. I might have been able to top it, but I kind of messed up the corkscrew there a bit. Still doesn't matter because my opponents are apparently ridiculously far behind my skyline. Again, this thing is just monstrous apparently. Yeah, which is fair enough. Still got to figure out how to get the screenshot, the thumbnails for this particular racing series. I believe what I might do is I'll just like load up the tracks in the Sunday Cup or something and then just complete them in that for reasons. Anyway, the R33 came in 2nd, NSX in 3rd, the Viper in 4th, NSX in 5th, and there's a 99 Skyline in this, which should really be up here with me winning. I mean, wait, that's a 99? It's an R33, what? Anyways, that's the thing, apparently. So, of course, we won that race, and we get 50,000 credits for winning that race, which is sizable, admittedly. Still not enough to buy me a rally card. Anyways, let's head over to the next session. Where are we gonna go for our next session? Because I didn't actually look at the thing. Oh, Super Speedway. Oh, hell yes. Oh, time for Super Speedway. This is gonna be fun. So, prepare for 5 laps of just utter easiness. 50,000 for just going around Super Speedway. That's a pretty decent amount. So yeah. Anyways, let's see how. Admittedly, full downforce on this track could be a little bit of an issue, but then again, apparently not. I was expecting it to be an issue there, but no issues from the R34 here. Just go through there. Look at how nicely this thing corners straight into mini sign. There we go. Anyways, how fast can we go around Super Speedway? I think the Escudo was doing 32 seconds around here, which is pretty awesome, but I'd be kind of curious to see how well the Skyline may do on this thing. I'm actually really happy this track showed up. Of course, this track had to show up in the last sort of episode of the special event because this track has been pretty good to me. This is another track actually. I was speaking about it in the last episode. Tracks that don't really show up that often in these racing series on the special events. And I tell you what, this one does not pop up very much at all. Super Speedway. I think we've seen this 3 times. It showed up on the Gran Turismo All-Stars, it showed up on the Estate Cup, and now it showed up here. That seems to be like the only places this track has actually showed up in, which is a bit sad because I really like Super Speedway. Not just because it is very, very easy, but I find it's kind of like a fun track just to go around. Because of how ridiculously easy the track is, it's just sort of like a nice place to come and unwind, essentially, I guess. You know, if you're, say, you know, looking at a very serious racing championship like this one, and then it turns out, oh hey, you're gonna go to Super Speedway and just have a nice, you know, 2.5 minutes of just dominating constantly. That's okay, that's cool. So I don't think we're actually that much off the Escudo. I mean, the Escudo completed the 5 laps at Super Speedway. I believe it was a 2 minutes 32. This is going to be more 2 minutes 40, but that's still pretty good. I mean, considering the Escudo is a 981 horsepower Mega Beast, and this is just a GT500 car, that's pretty good, all things considered. Anyways, we're going to be done with this in about 2 minutes 39.947. Our quickest lap was a 30 seconds. 0.678. Apparently the 99 Skyline is winning on this one, which is something. Who is winning in the actual championship then? I'm kind of rooting for the Viper. Everyone's on 7 points apparently, apart from the NSX and, well, both NSXs, which are on 6 and 5 points respectively. Yeah, I am kind of rooting for that Viper, I've got to admit. But there you go, anyways. I'm a Viper fan, so yeah. Anyways, we get 50,000 credits once again for completing that race. And let's head on to the next session, which goes somewhere, well, I don't really know where it's going to go. It's going to go to the Rome Circuit Full Course. Okay. Rome wouldn't really put GT500 cars in Rome, but fair enough. I don't think we've actually seen any track overlap from the last championship. Oh wait, maybe Laguna Seca. But we haven't actually seen any track overlap here, which is kind of nice, you know, between the GT300 and GT500 Cup, which is something I was kind of expecting. I was expecting to basically race the same racetracks again, just in slightly quicker cars, but apparently that's not the case, which is nice. Apparently the Viper is currently running this race, which is nice to see. I bet he's not by the end of it. Like I said, go on Viper, go on buddy, I'm rooting for you. I kind of wish I had access to that car. I don't think Dodge sells it. At least I'm fairly certain Dodge does not sell. Do they sell any of the racing bikes? They may sell that white one they've got, the one that basically fights with GT1s all the time. I was somewhat tempted to use like a racing Viper though, just to mess with some heads, but I've decided to go with like official GT500 cars because, well, that's one of the ways not to get backlash from several thousand JGTC fans. Anyways, apparently the Viper is quicker than us in a straight line, as you'd probably expect. However, through the corners, 4-wheel drive kind of, it's better than rear-wheel drive through the corners, especially on GT2. But there you go. Anyways, time to start making some ground up on these guys. Like I said, I'm hoping that Viper wins. I really want him to win the championship overall, or at least get second place for those guys, but I'm not sure if he's going to. I definitely know the NSXs at this point are. To be fair though, unlike in the last race where it was like me just hating on the Silvias and kind of the Tirreno as well, there's no cars that I actually despise in this particular race, so that's fine. I just don't want to see really the Skylines completely dominate this. I would, like I said, the Viper's the most interesting vehicle of this bunch, so I would kind of like him to win. Apparently it's kind of an interesting story behind that Viper. It is like a car that was running JGTC. I believe it was bought by some like privateers or something. Similar to how a McLaren F1, I believe back in like 2005, ended up in JGTC. One of the F1 GTRs actually ended up there for whatever reason. I believe it didn't do very well from what I remember reading on the internet. It was in like 2 or 3 races and then it gave up, but I mean that's still pretty incredible considering like the McLaren F1 as a race car was, I believe it was first introduced in '96, so To say it was racing somewhere in 2005, that's pretty incredible. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if JGTC has too many like privateers who show up in interesting vehicles like the Vipers and the McLaren F1s. I'd be kind of interested to find out. But yeah, it's like I said, this is one of those racing series where I actually probably wouldn't mind actually watching it at some point, because the cars are actually kind of interesting. Like, they're very, very weird to look at vehicles. I think as far as like what period of the AGTC I'd watch, I'd probably watch it from sort of this game's period, the 90s, just because I can't imagine it's particularly interesting at the moment. I mean, what cars are in GT 500? I believe there's like a version of is Honda still racing that HSV, I believe they called it, which was like an NSX but not quite. I believe they bought that in because it was like, oh crap, we can't really use the NSX anymore because it's been out of production for a couple of years, so we'll just sort of make this thing which is kind of like an NSX but not release it to the public. I know there is the Nissan GTRs. They race in GT 500 still. I believe they added one of those to Forza not long ago. So yeah, that's something. Yeah, I don't actually know what sort of vehicles will really race in it, because I mean Toyota. Oh wait, no, they have the BRZs, don't they? The Subaru BRZ. I believe they race in GT 500. They're in Gran Turismo 6. I know that much. The BRZ, and maybe the GT86 runs in there as well. I'm not too sure. I'd have to actually go look it up. I know they used to have the Lexus SC430s. I believe they're definitely gone now because the SC430 died a long time ago. It wouldn't surprise me if there's like some form of RCF or something in JGTC. I will actually have to look this up. I'm kind of curious to see sort of what vehicles run in that particular race nowadays, because I can't really think of many Japanese cars that really could. I mean, no, they've bought the NSX back, sure, and if Toyota ends up doing something with the FT1, you know, I guess we could see a revival of it, but yeah, I'd be kind of curious to see that. But there you go. Anyways, that's sort of my interesting topics ran out for this race. Oh hey, look, it's the I've got the name of it. Big thing in Rome. TVR signs. Apparently this game has dynamic advertisements, like they change on each and every single one of the tracks, which is something you don't even see nowadays in games, which is pretty incredible. I don't know if it actually happens. I've never really paid much attention to the actual scenery on these tracks, just because there isn't really all that much to look at, as you can probably tell at the moment. I mean, can you really see anything notable here or here or anything like that? I've never been to Rome. I don't know what that big wall is. Probably sound like an idiot to some people who are like experts in Rome. You're like, oh, you don't know the history of Rome. No, I don't. I don't care enough either. But anyways, that's about to round up my 5 laps around the Rome full circuit. Again, we've got a pretty sizable lead on anyone else. Right, let's see if the Viper has managed to stay in front of everyone. No, he's gone into third, but then again an NSX is in second, so I guess that's fine. So that actually means the Viper is tied with the NSX for second. The Skyline is tied with another NSX for fourth, and there's an R33 in last place, which you wouldn't really expect. But there you go. Anyway, apparently that's the way these things go sometimes. Anyways, we get another 50,000 credits, which means we're up to 186,000 credits. It's still not enough for a rally car. And we head on to our next session. Where are we going to be going for this next session? I don't know. Trial Mountain. Okay. I don't believe we did Trial Mountain with the GT 300 car. No, I don't think so anyways. Anyways, let's prepare for the rolling start, because police have rolling starts. I hate the rolling start system so much, it doesn't even work. But there you go. Anyways, I would like to see how many times I've actually said that in this LP. I believe I'd say that word more than any other bloody word. But yeah, let's try and again, this track, get confused with Deep Forest every now and again. Oh, the Mobili 1 NSX, that's one of the cars I could actually buy for this. So as I said before, GT300 cars, you can't really find them too much in the showrooms. GT500, bollocks. Go that way. There we go. Yeah, GT300 cars can't find too many of them. GT500 cars, you can find a hell of a lot of GT500 cars in this game for sale. You know, as you've seen, you can buy the Skyline. There's quite a few NSXs for sale as well, from what I remember. There's a few, I don't know if they're actually GT500 cars, but there's a few £1,000,000 Mazdas that kind of fit the specs. The LM edition is probably, like, you'd probably get ram raided if you tried to turn up to this race with the RX-7 LM edition, but you can still do it. So there's the Hondas. I believe there's also some, I would assume there's some Supras. I don't know if I actually really looked at getting the Supras, but one would very much assume that you can actually indeed get Supras for that. Anyways, apparently the Viper's dueling with two of the Skylines here, and something ran out towards the front. It looks like the Castrol NSX. I can't actually remember where he is in the standings on the actual championship things. Again, like I said with the GT300 video, I love how this is essentially just become a case of I'm more excited about where those guys are going to end up than where I am. Just because, like, I believe, well, I'm actually quite far ahead of everyone else, and considering they're always, like, dueling and stuff, I believe I can actually I could throw away this race and I wouldn't actually have to position that high up the rankings to do much about the next race. At least I don't think. I don't want to risk it, just because I don't. Yeah, I'm not intentionally going to lose any of these races. It's not like a one of the Gran Turismo games where you can just essentially, like, just throw it away if you want. You could just basically quit out of one particular race because you can't be asked to do it. Which, to be fair, if I was doing an LP on one of those games, I'd be very much tempted to do that, especially like GT4, because some of the championships on that game just go on forever and ever and ever. I mean, that's why I don't usually do the championship events on Gran Turismo, just because they just bore me. Like this, I don't mind this too much. It does get a little bit tedious after a while though, because it's just like, oh hey, 5 laps in this race, and then you go to somewhere else to do another 5 laps, and there's no break in between, which is something, I don't know why, I get bored kind of easily. You know, I know this is like a good way to sort of do it, like, but at the same time I would prefer it if it was sort of, you know, oh hey, do this one race, one 5 lap race, and then you get to quit out to the menu, go look at your garage, stuff like that. And then you get to come back in instead of it being a championship, but either way it's fine. As I've said, the best thing about this game is there's only 3 of these bloody things in the game, and I've done 1.5 of them so far, so far so good. And then the next one, like, we don't even have to do that until, unless actually the internationals might be championships. I'm not too sure, I don't actually remember. But yeah, even if they are, doesn't really matter, because that's a lot longer on in this Let's Play, and I don't have to do them at the moment. Apparently my phone is going off, someone wants contact, which is not good. There we go, through there. I don't know why anyone would want to, I believe it's like midnight as I record this, so I don't know why anyone would want to message me at this time, but either way, apparently that's something that people do. So let's get to the final race. Oh, I've just noticed I did a 1:13.934 on the last lap. That's good. That's very, very good actually, as far as lap times on this are concerned. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed with that time. Break into there. Get some nice turbo blow off noises. You need those turbo blow off valve noises because they're just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, let's see how much air I can get off this course here. Oh, maybe not. I'll just smash into there. I was actually on for a good lap time there as well. So I don't think I'm going to be able to beat that 1:13.934 unless I'm very, very careful on this lap. But then again, I smacked that thing and it took a lot of my straight line speed off, and apparently I have no turn. Excuse me, I've got no turning going into there, which is always nice. There we go, through there. I don't know if that's the tyres coming out through the bodywork, I'm not sure, it's just some rendering issues. It's an old game, this game's 1999, I mean, yeah, what do you expect? It's an old game, and it's got 650 cars in it, which is an awful lot of vehicles in this game, so I mean, what do you expect? I mean, come on. Anyways, we are around that corner, we are coming up to the finish line, and then we're going to be on our last event, and then we're almost done with this championship, and we can go and do something else with our lives, like dirt rally racing, because yay. Oh yeah, dirt rally's coming out soon, isn't it? Well, it should be out. Will it be out by the time you see? I don't know. When's this come out? April 3rd, I think. I don't know when dirt rally comes out. It comes out at some point. Either way, across the line in the GT 500 race thing, the Viper is unfortunately in last, so it looks like he's going to not fare very well in championship standings. Yeah, indeed, kind of unfortunate for the Viper there. And coming into the last race, I don't really think he's got enough time to recover from that poor performance at Trial Mountain. I assume he got thrown out by sort of some of these ramps and stuff that's on this track. That's all I can imagine. Anyways, next session, next race. What's it gonna be? Where are we going? Oh, it's Apricot Hill. I was about to say, can we go again? That'd be nice. Yeah, this has taken nearly as long as I was expecting. We've only been going for 27 minutes. So this is actually going to end up being about the same length as the GT 300 championship, I think, which is something quite cool, I guess. Either way, break into there, lots of sideways action from the NSXs. However, the Viper is on pole position in this race. Go Viper! It's pole in this race, like, and technically, like, that 97, he's just not quick enough through these corners, and I may have screwed the Viper up a bit. Oh god, I don't care anymore. But yeah, I mean, technically, if that 97 Skyline, because I believe that 97 is in last place, so if he came third, Viper came second, Viper might be, I'm not sure if he could actually recover it or not, because I think the NSX he was dueling with on the actual championship thing ended up doing really well in that last race, so I don't really know. But there you go. Anyways, I just noticed there's like a city in the background on this track. I also noticed it on Grand Valley. I am assuming, for the purposes of this, that both Grand Valley and Apricot Hill are both set in Japan. One would assume. Polyphony is, of course, Japanese, and I believe most of the tracks in this game are technically based in Japan. I mean, the only ones I can think of that aren't, at least according to the game lore, is Deep Forest. I believe Deep Forest is supposed to be in England, I believe, or Scotland or something. I'm just trying to think, where else does this game try and dump things from? Trial Mountain. I believe they said Trial Mountain's Japanese, I'm not sure. High Speed Ring is definitely Japanese. This track I'm not too sure. I'm assuming this would be Japanese as well. I mean, I don't know. I know Laguna Seca's American, obviously. But I'm not too sure about all the other tracks in this game. Anyway, what's that advertisement say? It's blinking really weirdly. I believe it said Master Speed on it. I'm not too sure though. Either way, once again, we've certainly got a lead on everyone else in this race, apparently, which is fair enough. Potenzana, there we go, there's an advertisement in my back window. There we go, slide it out a bit there. But yeah, seriously, I do really like the design on this car. I don't know if these guys still have a GT racing team, but yeah, if I was to watch GT 500 or JGTC, and you know, a car in this livery was to pop up, I'd support this team. I believe they've got Yellow Hat. They used to race a Supra. I believe they have a GTR nowadays. I'm not too sure. I know Supra's raced in JGTC for quite a long time, actually. I can't remember what they end up phasing them out with. Like, that's the weird thing with the JGTC, was like the NSXs, I believe they ran until like 2008. The Supras ran from, I believe the last Supra I saw run was 2005. That's the one in Forza. So yeah, I don't know how long the Supras ended up sticking around for. The SC430s, I mean, they stuck around for quite a while. They stuck around from like until about 2008. So yeah, it's very, very weird the fact that they've got all of these sort of really old out production vehicles still running in the thing. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know if it's expensive to like really ship over the body stuff, because I mean it's not like you're really keeping the internals of any of these vehicles. Like I'm very much assuming essentially they just build a sort of chassis and then just bolt the body to it. You know, similar to how, say, the Espace F1 worked, and that's how sort of Rally works and stuff, whereas essentially, like, the car is non-existent underneath. Like, none of, you know, the Ford Fiesta rally car, for example, none of that Fiesta rally car shares anything, really, with the standard Fiesta, save for, like, some exterior details. I'd very much assume it's the same for this, so... I mean, I don't know how hard it is to stick things to... Oh wait, I just thought, did Toyota not replace the Supra with a Prius GT500? I remember them having like a racing, oh god, was that GT300? Toyota made a racing Prius at some point, I know that much, which is neither here nor there. There is a Prius in this game, in case you're wondering. It's a very, very old Prius, I believe it's a 97, so it's like the first ever Japanese Prius model, I believe. So yeah, that's something. Anyways, we are on to the final lap here at Apricot Hill. Let's break into here, let's break into here, there we go. Slide a bit out wide, but it's nothing we can't handle. Jeez, I just realised in my talking bollocks that we've got quite far ahead of everyone else on this track. Yeah, I found out on Apricot Hill it's actually kind of easy to get a lead just because of those turns right there, like the wiggly bends. Like the AI just try and slow down way too much for them, and you can sort of take them basically almost flat out. I just noticed as well that last lap was very, very quick, a 109.066, which is exceedingly quick. Yeah, so the Skyline overall, very, very nice vehicle to drive. Perhaps a little bit too OP for the GT500 class, as it would turn out. Oh god, right. Nope, that's a view change button. That's not a handbrake. Right, there we go. Anyways, got that spun round relatively easily. You've got to remember the handbrake is... oh, yes, that's what it is. I can check that because it doesn't really matter because I'm going to win this race. What I'm curious to see though is who's actually in the lead in their little pack they've got going on. Who is going to be in the lead? Please be the Viper. Oh, it's the Skyline, the Viper's in 5th. So overall, where does everyone place? Well, I get 1st, the Jex Skyline gets 2nd, the NSX gets 3rd, the Cure R33 gets 4th, the Mugen NSX gets 5th, and unfortunately the Viper, he got 6th. Like, the Viper was doing pretty well, it's just like performances in the last 2 races, it wasn't particularly good. But anyways, we get 50,000 credits for finishing that race. And of course we've got to hit next and see what we win overall in this sort of big championship. We get a trophy and we get 200,000 credits. That's more like it. There's a lot of money. That's actually more than you get from completing the game, in case you're wondering. So yeah, as well. Let's go and find out what that new car is. It's going to be a GT500 car, we know that much, and it's going to get sold. We know that much because I don't really need them anymore. Anyways, let's just back out of there. As you can see, there we go. I will also actually I'll wait. I'll go to the garage first, and then we'll click through all the rest of that. Anyways, garage, we have run another GTR, an Atta. Okay, it's got kind of a cool livery on it, I guess, but no real point of keeping that one around, so we will sell that car. Anyways, back to the special event quickly, before we can just prove that we have finished every single one of these. Everything's got a silver cup in it. there we go, everything is done, and we are on for a final percentage currently of 31.05% complete after doing all the special events. So that's what our stats look like currently. 150 races, 121 total wins, average win-loss of 80%, which is pretty good. We've owned 45 cars, and we've got an average ranking of 1, whatever that means. Anyways, friends, now that special events have done, we move on next episode to the rally events, or dirt events as this game calls them, and I believe we're going to be starting with Smoky Mountain, so yeah, join me for that next time. Anyways, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.